Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Demo's Diecast. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from what we've done on the channel so far. So over the weekend, we hit 100 subscribers. So I want to thank each and every one of you who have taken the time out of your days to watch the videos, to subscribe to the channel, commenting and just being supportive, sharing the videos, things like that. We appreciate that. We really do. So being that we reached 100 subscribers, I wanted to do kind of an introductory video. I realized when I started the channel, we just kind of hit the ground running with all of the different pieces that we had on hand and that we were receiving, just doing videos for all of those. So wanted to make a video kind of introducing myself and the channel, give you guys an idea of what you can kind of expect going forward if you haven't already kind of tempered those expectations per se. So based upon that, I got into collecting in about 2018. My son was 3 years old, and I started buying Hot Wheels for him at the grocery store. Anytime I would go to Target, Walmart, King Soopers, you name it, I would just buy a car if I thought it was cool, thought he would like it. And then one day I came across an Integra, and I'm a Honda guy, and I was just like, whoa, what? So based upon that, I started buying a couple cars here and there for myself, kind of stashing them away, not really opening them or anything like that, just kind of thinking they were cool. And that kind of led to where we are today. As you can see here in the background, we've got multiple cases up on the wall. We've got some other cars in Protectos and stuff up here. Got a couple more cases up here. So as you can see, it's turned into a full-blown hobby now. And yeah, so here on the channel, we love to collect JDM stuff. To be honest with you, I'm a fan of all cars. I just love cars, period. I've always been into cars as far back as I could remember. And I'll post a little picture up here of myself when I was my son's age when he started. 2 Hot Wheels in hand at my grandparents' wedding. And like I said, never looked back. So, but yeah, basically what we collect here on the channel, any type of cool car. Doesn't matter if it's JDM, it could be a domestic, it could be an exotic, it could be a Euro. Those are my main focuses. Currently, I don't have a domestic case for just domestic cars. Just not enough room. So I don't have one up currently. But I do still have a bunch of loose domestics that are wheel swapped and super cool. So as soon as I get the opportunity to hang another case, I'll definitely bring those guys back out. But like I told you guys on the last video, I've got over 1,000 cars, loose cars on display. And like I said, none of them have plastic wheels. They either came as a Rail Rider Premium, or it's an RLC, or convention car, something like that. And then we also collect higher end diecast here, such as Tarmacs, Inno64s, Mini GTs, you name it, CM model, all that kind of stuff. So originally, like I said, it started with Hot Wheels. Once I decided to kind of start collecting myself, I got on Facebook, typed in Hot Wheels, found all these different groups of people selling stuff, and I was just blown away, just taken back. So the first thing that I started with was all of the Honda Supers, and that's what you guys can see hanging on the wall up here. So this is every single Honda Super Treasure Hunt, and that was the first thing that I locked down, first thing I went after. So once I completed that, then it was just kind of getting into buying complete sets and other things that were coming out that I liked. So that's how we got here today. I came across Honest Diecast channel about, I want to say about a year, maybe a little bit longer ago. I started watching his videos, was really intrigued and really impressed with his mentality towards hunting and collecting. which I wasn't necessarily in at that time. So watching his channel and making it more about the cars and not the money sent my collecting in a different direction. So nowadays we open a lot of stuff. I also had a good buddy that I met, and at the time we met, I didn't know he was into Hot Wheels, and we ended up kind of splitting apart. We were friends through a mutual friend, and we lost contact. And then I went to a toy show where they were selling Hot Wheels, and I ended up bumping into him. And when I saw him, I was like, man, what are you doing here? Like, this is weird. And he's like, oh, dude, I've collected Hot Wheels for 30 years. I had no idea. His name is Mr. Rick. Shout out to Mr. Rick, because he is the one who got me into loose cars. So Mr. Rick, after we linked back up, we exchanged information. Mr. Rick hits me up, tells me, hey, man, I'm getting rid of some cars and some cases. Would you have any interest? I said, yeah, absolutely, man. What you got? He said, I got about 200 loose cars, and I got 3 56 count Carney cases. Gave me an incredible price for the whole package. So I said, let's do it. I'm in. So I showed up. He starts pulling cars out of the box, and I mean, the craziest stuff. Hot Wheels lowriders from the black box. Ferrari Super Treasure Hunt. A lot of older Ferrari mainlines. Some tarmacs, a Pagani Zonda tarmac. Just incredible stuff. Stuff that you really shouldn't be able to get for that price, and including the 3 cases. So I was just like, wow, this is nuts. So Mr. Rick got me into loose cars. So I got the cases from him. I hung those, put all the cars in there. So then I started ordering. I ended up getting a RLC membership in 2019, I believe was my first year. So I started buying cars on there. I had 2 accounts, one for me and one for my son. So I would get one, and then I would put one away for him. So we ended up going to a toy show the following year. And at that toy show, we brought some of the RLCs that we had purchased, but weren't necessarily collecting, right? So we were looking for trade bait. So one of the RLCs that I had given my son was the Candy Striper Volkswagen drag bus. And at the show, at that point in time, the drag bus was still hot. It was selling for a lot. So I told my son, this is yours. Feel free to trade it if you'd like, or you could sell it to somebody and use that money to buy another RLC, whatever you feel like doing. So he was able to work a trade at the toy show for the orange RLC S2000, and he also picked up, I don't remember what the other car he picked up was, but fast forward, we get home, we pull out our stuff, we're looking at it. So he pulls out his S2000. Most of you guys might know that car is numbered at, I think, 12,500 total made. His was number like 1257 out of 12,500. So I said, well, what do you want to do? And he says, I want to open it. So I was like, okay. I mean, technically I bought it for you and we paid retail for the drag bus, so go ahead. So he opens the S2000 Protecto and whoosh, rips it right in front of my eyes. Inside, I wanted to die initially. Then once he took the car out and held it and we both looked at it in hand, I was amazed. The car looks so much better out of the package than it did in the package. So I give the credit to my son for giving me the courage to just rip them, man. Like, who cares about the value, right? If down the road we decide to sell the collection, great. We may break even. We may lose a little bit of money. I'm not really that concerned. I enjoy them for the time being, so I'm not too worried about making money in the long run. If we get something back for it, it's better than nothing. If we get nothing back for it, who cares? We still enjoyed the car. So that's the state of the hobby for us here nowadays. So he's got his own collection. He has a 108 count case, Carney. He's got a 56 count, and he has a Hot Wheels collector case, all filled. He's got tons of premiums. He's got RLCs, supers, loose supers, you name it. As a matter of fact, he's never kept a super carded. Every super he's ever found or we've ever found out hunting, whoosh, right away. So it was super liberating, and I'm glad that I got into it because I just enjoy the cars. So just a little bit of a background here as to how we got to where we are today. And so through watching Derek's channel, Honest Diecast, started to message back and forth with him. And Derek said, I want to have you on for one of my diecast discussions. I think you have a good mentality, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd like to come on and have you, on the show as a guest. So I said, cool, let's do it. So upon doing that, several of you who are subscribers to the channel showed tons of support, asked for a channel to be created, and here we are. So with the help of everybody who's already subscribed to Honest Diecast, and with Derek's help, he encouraged me to start the channel. He gave me tons and tons of insight and information and knowledge as to how to get all this going and what route to go and what programs to use and et cetera, et cetera. So I owe a huge thank you to first and foremost Mr. Rick, because he got me started on my real collection, and also with having cases to store the loose cars in. Got to give a huge shout out to my son for ripping them and just not caring about value and just only caring about the car. It made it so much easier. And then thirdly, I'd love to give a huge shout out to Derek at Honest Diecast for pushing me to get to this point and saying, hey man, you should start a channel. People out there actually kind of want to listen to what you got to say, et cetera, et cetera. So here we are today. So the ultimate goal of the channel is that I've acquired all of these cars, right? And I continue to acquire cars. And so my goal is to just kind of share some of my collection with you guys. B, share some insights and things that I've learned and picked up in the hobby through collecting over the last 6 to 8 years. And then in the same breath, maybe give reviews on stuff that you guys maybe are on the fence about buying, but you kind of want to see it, or, being able to see it helps you make a decision as to whether or not it's a good purchase or not. So that's the main goal of the channel. It's just, like I said, just to kind of share and I don't know if you want to call it educate per se, but just, again, just giving insight and sharing and going forward. So that's why we're here. So that's what you're going to see on the channel. You're going to see reviews. You're going to see comparisons. You're going to see the occasional hunting videos. I don't hunt as much as I used to. My biggest year for hunting was 2021. I had seen a lot of posts in previous years about guys saying they couldn't find supers and supers were impossible. So I made it my goal in 2021 to find every single super in store for retail. I wasn't going to buy any from anybody selling them or scalping them or anything like that. My goal was to find every single one. I found all but 4, and I was able to trade extras of ones that I found in 2021 for the 4 that I didn't find. So I completed my 2021 set of supers. I completed every mail-in for that year. I completed every store exclusive. So Kroger's, Target, Dollar General, you name it. All those, mail-ins for each one, all of that. So the only thing I didn't complete that year was RLCs, just because I wasn't into every single car that was released, but I did get a good portion of them. So based upon that, here we are. So again, just here to show and share and hopefully provide any type of insight or direction that you guys may be out there looking for. And if nothing else, entertainment. And like I said, we just share back and forth. So just want to do a quick introduction to myself and the channel so you guys kind of understand where we're coming from, what we're doing, why we're here, why we exist. Just like Mr. Derek in Honest Diecast says, it's about the cars, not the money. If for whatever reason some of these pieces end up bringing money later on, great. If they don't, great. I still enjoyed the cars, and that's the main focus. That's the goal here, is to enjoy the cars. So, I don't want to be too long or anything like that. Just a quick introductory video. Should have done this from the jump, but like I said, we had so much stuff and it just kind of, we hit the ground and just took off running. So now that we're at 100 subscribers, as a thank you to you all who have subscribed and who have watched the channel, just want to do a little introduction, let you guys, kind of meet and greet and give you an idea of why we're here. So we'll continue to go through stuff. If you guys have suggestions or if you have things that you want to see in my collection or do a video on, leave a comment. You know what I mean? Eventually, obviously, we've been doing a lot of openings and comparisons so far, but eventually I want to get to these cases and start showing you guys some of the cases. We did the video with the Carney that we hung and moving those cars over. So if there's anything, like I said, that you guys are interested in, have questions, want to see a video done on, etc., by all means, drop a comment in any of the videos that we release here on Demos Diecast, and we'll do our best to get those knocked out and give you guys a little show and tell session. So thank you guys again for tuning in. One more time, thank you to all who have subscribed so far. We appreciate it. To be at 100 subscribers in the short period of time that the channel's been active, it's amazing, unbelievable. And I owe a big part of that to Honest Diecast and Mr. Derek for always, promoting and having me on as a guest for his diecast discussions, as well as constantly shouting the channel out through his live videos and in the videos that he does on his channel. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. And again, thanks to my son for inspiring me to crack these cars and enjoy loose cars. And then shout out to Mr. Rick for really getting started on the journey as far as my collection goes. So once again, man, thank you to everybody. We appreciate it. We're going to keep pumping out these videos. We're going to keep pumping out these mail calls. So just stay tuned, and hopefully we continue to make good content that you guys enjoy and can continue to come back and watch and enjoy for the future. So thank you guys again. We appreciate it, and we will see you on the next video. One love.